What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking out the new Chinese premium T-34-85. I should know, just for consistency's sake, that this tank was provided to me for free by Gaijin Entertainment as part of the content partner program. And I always like to mention this to my watchers so that they know that I was provided this for free. Some people kind of get weirded up by that. They feel like it's bragging, and it's not. It's just so that people don't feel like they're being lied to, because again, other people feel that if they aren't told that we are hiding something from them. I don't know. I stopped trying to understand everyone on the internet a long time ago. People are gonna be weird. And so the T-34-85, I've always loved this tank. And I always will love this tank. I always thought that this was something that Gaijin should have added right from the start, but they have their own little schedule, and that's fine. It's a Tier 4 premium. It's cost 4,880 Golden Eagles, so it's not cheap. A lot of you have voiced interest in my approach to the game, so I'm gonna voice this over in some post commentary. I immediately ping the map so that I can tell my teammates that there is a guy already pushing the forest, the little area of trees, so that they don't get surprised. I use my first shot to take down that fence. I take the fence down so that I can see what, if anything, is behind that fence. Not just immediately behind it, but also in the distance behind it. There's a medium distance, and then there's a building way in the back that people often try to hide behind. And I will try to knock this fence down. Usually one panel is enough to see adequately behind it. But in this case, our teammates, which flanked to the north just enough, they were able to take down that guy who was behind that building. So I don't have to worry about him. Now, if you take a look at the map, you notice one interesting thing, and that is this is not domination. This is, in fact, conquest, and the middle of the map is where the cap circle is. I do not go near the cap circle on this map initially, and that's because it's basically a kill box. So I thought the best way to illustrate this is with Photoshop. Basically, the kill box on this map, in my opinion, is this area right here. It's essentially the entire area of the cap. Regardless of which approach I take, there are so many different avenues that I can be attacked from if I go right in for the cap. You have to remember that this area here of the building can be driven through. This area of the building can be driven through. You can be flanked around this building this way. You have all these barrels that people can drive around. You get flanked from the south. You can even be flanked from around behind. You've also got these barrels or tanks or whatever they are that people can hide next to and behind. You've also got these barrels and tanks that people can drive around and hide behind or between. Another one of the things that this box provides a lot of is shadows. The sun does not adequately penetrate the area very well because the buildings are so tall, and then the tanks themselves cast a really dark shadow. So it can be very difficult to check every possible avenue and see everything because of the shadows cast. The shadows are cast so well that they're just not able to properly illuminate the enemy tanks. So the kill box is something you really don't want to be in a hurry to get into until you have eliminated most of your enemy targets, if at all possible. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I heard a shot back here, and I figured I would go back here and investigate. Sure enough, there's a tank in this factory building. But I can't really get a good shot at him right now because he's already reloaded. Mark him on the map for my team so that they know where he is. And much to my surprise, he was actually smart enough to get a cupola shot on my tank. I don't die or lose crew members very often in my T-34-85 from cupola shots, but every once in a while it does come back to bite you in the butt on a map like this, because he couldn't have shot me any other way. because I was behind that building, and as was he. So we really couldn't shoot each other very well. Now you see there, by the kill cam itself, I'm able to decide what kind of tank that is. That's not just a Chamberlin. It's an M4A3. Because the M4A1, the M4A2, the M4A3E2, also otherwise known as the Jumbo, does not have that kind of a skirt or apron or whatever it's called around the side. Anyway, that M4A3 just killed a guy, and we're going to be keeping an eye on the kill feed because we're going to be waiting to see what happens to him, if anything at all. Eventually, we're going to go after him, but it's important to be able to identify vehicles like that M4A3 just by that short visual of the kill cam. I couldn't see what it was exactly, I couldn't see the front of it. Anyway, I come back here to make sure that this back area is clear. I figured that the Panther would have seen anything that has flanked around. I do apologize for the frame rate drops here and there. I've had to revert my graphics settings, my graphics drivers back a couple of versions to get rid of that frame rate drop. So with the northern area of the map secure, I decided it's time to go down towards the kill box. We're not going to go down this way because the spawn is in that direction. Instead, we're going to go in the direction of the M4A3. But before we go directly at him, we're going to check here around our right side corner to see if anything's here. And sure enough, there is a Comet sitting in the shadows, which I mentioned earlier. My first shot is awful. His shot sails over. My second shot takes out his gun barrel, and now that his gun barrel is out, we're able to take him a second to eliminate him. The M4A3, by the way, is still alive. You just heard the shot. He's to my left. I assume he's going to be coming towards my left, so I turn in anticipation for him. I angle my turret and take him out. Now, had I known that was a Jumbo, I would have stayed behind that wall and waited for him to push around the corner. But because he was an M4A3, I knew that I could push him and take him out frontally very easily. A Jumbo has a much thicker turret, as well as a much thicker hull armor. You can't easily pen that thing from the front. You have to aim for a couple of small weak spots. It's just something to keep in mind when you're in a situation like this. Being able to identify targets is very, very useful. Right now I'm just waiting for my team to arrive. They all got kind of smacked down a little bit, and I'm just listening, trying to find out where people are. I figured this is the best time. This is as good a time as any to get into the kill box and risk everything. We have lost a lot of tickets, but thankfully, my God, they're still raining down shots left and right. You just never know where they're going to come from. But I hear a tank to my left, so I come around, just peek around the corner using my camera, and there's an Avenger coming in. Mark him on the map so that my teammates can identify him. And you notice to my front left, there's a friendly Tiger coming in to assist me with the Avenger. Mark him again so that the Tiger knows where he is. And watch the ground in front of the Avenger. See that tank? That shadow? That's his turret moving. He rotates his gun, and once I see that, I pull out and take him down. Sometimes shadows work for your advantage, or work towards your advantage. We saw that earlier kill on the Comet. I didn't see him right away. It took me a second for my eyes to register the presence of the Comet in between those buildings, or excuse me, those barrels, whatever these are. I don't know if they hold oil or just what. Anyway, there's a tank up north, up by those. Oh, M4A2, he goes down thanks to the Waffenträger, and we're just kind of camping the kill box now that we've got control over it. But there's no point in sitting here. They may or may not show up. Some of them are in air, so I figure we might as well push up and head towards their spawn. As we fast forward, there's a SPA that is engaged my ally here, the Tiger, around the corner. Can't tell exactly what kind of SPA it is, but I figured we hadn't seen anything come out of the spawn. At least I hadn't. The Tiger got himself 1 or 2 kills, but I wasn't quite so fortunate. Drop artillery on him and push him through the artillery and risk it. Figure I have a roof. Maybe I'll get killed by my own artillery. Maybe I won't. Either way, it'll be funny for a video. And there he is, and I duffed the shot. I hit a little bit of a bump in the ground, and it set my shot sailing clean over. But it's okay. It's only a Crusader. Not something I need to worry about. I heard a shot, a couple of shots up ahead of me, so I figured I would push on through and investigate, see if anything was in fact still alive up here. And there actually was. Coming around the corner is a Chaffee, and the duffing of the shots continues. Mark him on the map for my allies, but he doesn't seem to have recognized that he was shot at. Maybe he thought it was artillery that landed near him, I don't know. Either way, Chaffee is down. The kill box is secured. But you can see the shadows in this area are just, they're crazy. If you hide amongst these buildings or these barrels, you can hide pretty well. As you may have surmised, there wasn't a whole lot of action after this point. When you have a single cap circle like this, people aren't able to earn a lot of respawn points, and as such, you don't tend to get a lot of opportunities for kills, because people don't tend to respawn very often. That being said, I was able to secure one last kill on an M4A1 Sherman. Then there's a Churchill that comes around the corner, but I'm not able to get eyes on him until it's a little too late. I couldn't suss out just where he was in the mess of those trees, so I didn't bother pushing out. I figured there wasn't any point in risking my tank at the end of the game for an unlikely engagement against a Churchill. Maybe I would have killed him, maybe not. Who knows? Either way, we ended up doing pretty well. We got 16,000 in vehicle research and over 100,000 in silver lines, thanks to a nice little booster that I had on. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed my little breakdown of this battle on Abandoned Factory. You don't always have to go directly towards the cap. I know it makes sense a lot of times, but I think the most logical play on maps like this is to play the long game and not rush in to die. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that thumbs up button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.